Hi, here's a lesson in how to play I Wanna Be Like You, the classic Sherman Brothers song from Walt Disney's The Jungle Book. So there are only a few chords in this song. I'll show you the chords first, and then I'll show you some of the things that I throw in when I play the song. So the first chord that you're going to need is B minor. You can play that up here at the 7th fret. Just bar the 7th fret and make this E minor shape. So you flatten that first finger out, and then you've got the 9th fret on the 5th and 4th strings. So that's your B minor. And then you're going to want an F sharp 7, which you can play right here like this. If you take your C chord, turn it into a C7 by adding your 3rd finger at the 3rd fret of the 3rd string. 4th finger at the 3rd fret of the 3rd string. And you move that up to here. So it's at the 7th, 8th, and 9th frets. Root note right here. That's the F sharp right there. So B minor, F sharp 7. And if you want, you can let your thumb touch that 6th string a little bit so it doesn't ring out. I'm also muting that 1st string with my 1st finger, letting that come against it. So rather than holding your hand like this with the arched fingers, just let them lean down a little bit. You don't have to bring them too far. Just a little bit of a droop there will cause the strings to be deadened. So you got those two chords. And then you're going to have an A7 or an A. You can play either one. So A here, it's a bar at the 5th fret with this E shape thrown on here. So it's like a full bar F chord at the 5th fret, like this. And if you want to play it as a 7th, just leave out your little finger. And then you're going to play a D here. So I play it like this, my 1st finger at the 5th fret of the 5th string, and my 3rd finger coming down and flattening and playing the 4th, 3rd, and 2nd strings, and it deadens the 1st string here. So that's a D chord. Then you're going to need a B7. This is a B7 here. So this is the 7th fret of the 6th, 4th, and 2nd strings, and then my little fingers here on the 8th fret of the 3rd string. Then you'll play an E7, which is just like that F sharp 7, but here at 5, 6, and 7. And then A7, I probably play that A7 like I played the B7 up here. And then I might go to this one here instead of just a regular D. This is a chord I use a lot. This is a D6, and it's a kind of a D6 that's it's like you play a C chord, flatten that 2nd finger so it gets both of those, and add the little finger at the 3rd fret of the 1st string. And if we bring it up to here, it's a D chord, or a D6. So let's see. Was that everything we need? Yeah, I think that's all the chords. So let's just strum through it, and I'll just call out the chords as we get to them. So practice the chords first, make sure you can play them, and then try playing along with me. So B minor, F sharp 7, B minor, F sharp 7, B minor, A, D, B7, E7, A7, D6, A7, D, B7, E7, A7, D6. And then you might want to take this F sharp 7 to transition back to the beginning. And then you go through it again. So that's just the basic chords of the song, and you repeat that a few times. But there are a bunch of extra things I throw in, and I don't really know exactly what I play in the video. That was one of the more spontaneous videos. It was on the spontaneous side. It's a song I've been playing for many years before doing the video, and I remember just sitting out in the backyard and thinking, oh, maybe I'll try. What's this song called? I Want to Be Like You, and just noodled around with it a little bit, and then people started asking me for arrangements of it, and I was thinking I don't really have an arrangement of that one. I was just kind of noodling around. But I'll show you some of the ideas that I use here. So when you're holding that B minor down for a long time, add some notes from the minor pentatonic scale, this scale here. You can just add them to that chord. And if you lift up your little finger, that turns it into B minor 7. And you can just play around with that. You could add some other notes from the Dorian scale. If you want to, you could play those. I'm also doing some of these brushes here, bringing my fingers down, kind of fanning them out like that, letting these fingers come first. Kind of like that. I'm also doing this. I'm releasing the grip and getting that kind of sound. You could play a rhythm like that. When you get to that F sharp 7, if you want, you can throw in the flat 9 just by raising that first finger up a fret. If you want, you can do a walk down right there. That's 9, 7 on the 5th string, and then 10, 9, 7 on the 6th string. I think on the video I do this. So I play a D chord up like this here, where flatten out the first finger at the 7th fret on the first 4 strings and add the little finger at the 10th fret of the 1st string. So that's another kind of D chord. And then go down to this D chord, and here I'm getting that note with it. Instead of just deadening that string, I'm hitting that, which might be easier for you if you play the D chord this way. You can do it either way. You can use 4 fingers here or just 2 fingers. And then I think I do a walk up here, 5, 6, 7. And I think sometimes I throw in this B7 with a sharp 5 in it. So to play that, you play 7th fret of the 6th string, 7th fret of the 4th string, 8th fret of the 3rd string, 8th fret of the 2nd string. And then go back to B7. You can play an E9. This flatten out the 3rd finger on the 7th fret of the first 3 strings. First finger here, 6th fret of the 4th string. 2nd finger here on the 7th fret of the 5th string. Throw in that too. This is an A13. So this is it's like that A chord, but you lift up your little finger and let the bar play the note, and then put your little finger here down at the 7th fret of the 2nd string, and back to just A7, and then this D6. You might want to go to this too, an A7 with a sharp 5, like that B7 with a sharp 5, or we can just play the 13. Too, when you're playing that E9, you can add your little finger here on the 9th fret of the 1st string, get that 13 in there too. So let's play through that. I'm the king of the swingers, the jungle VIP. I've reached the top and I've had to stop. Alternating bass, that's what bothering me. I wanna be a man, let go, stroll right into town and be just like the other men. I'm tired of monkeying around. Oh, ooh-be-doo, I wanna be like you. I wanna walk like you, talk like you too. You see, it's true, an ape like me can learn to be you meant to. So you repeat through that, and so a few things I noticed that I did there that I didn't talk about yet. I did a lot of these alternating basses. So when you're on the F sharp 7 here, you can bring your 3rd finger back and forth from the 5th string to the 6th string. When it's on the 6th string, just let it lean against the 5th string a little to mute it. So you can do it with that chord. You can do it with the E9. Bring your second finger back and forth in the same way. You can do it with that D6. Just bring it back and forth like that. And I also found myself playing an A13 this way sometimes, which is that's another good way to play an A13. So it's the first finger on the 5th fret of the 6th string, mute the 5th string, second finger, 5th fret of the 4th string, third finger, 6th fret of the 3rd string, and little finger, 7th fret of the 2nd string. If you want, you can also flatten that little finger out, get the 1st string in there too, get a little bit of that 9th. Yeah, so that's I Want to Be Like You, and I think that's one of the first tunes I performed in. I don't know. You might think of it as like the first Modernisto performance. That was back when I was in. I guess it was when I was a senior in high school, which would have been 2002, and my high school used to have something called the Jazz Cafe every year, where the jazz band would perform 2 sets while people came and drank coffee and ate pastries and raised money for raising money for something, maybe the jazz band or maybe the school, or I forget. But it was always a nice evening, and so usually there'd be like a little combo that would perform in the middle. So some of the kids would put together like a small jazz combo to play a few tunes. And my senior year, nobody ever really got around to doing that, and somehow it came up that I could just play by myself, so I did. And I think I played that and Take the A Train, and both of those I did with a lot of scat singing, and what was the other one? Lovin' Al, which was a tune from the musical Working, based on Studs Terkel's book, and I played Lovin' Al. I just played Lovin' Al in the school musical that year, and I played his tune at the Jazz Cafe. I think it was those 3 tunes I did, and it was kind of the first time I played, first time I performed in a setting in which I was doing this kind of music and throwing in a little bit of goofiness. I was kind of silly, and yeah, I guess just playing like jazzy tunes with a little bit of goofiness. And but before that, most of my public performances had been with rock bands or playing classical guitar pieces, or if I was doing something silly, it was less jazzy, I guess. Anyway, little story there about my relationship with this song. Yeah, I think I remember thinking, oh, I'll do Take the A Train and I Want to Be Like You. Those might be fun. And people seem to like them, and I really enjoyed playing them, and so I've been playing a lot of stuff in that style since then. And I recorded the video in 2007, I think it was. So I did the first round of YouTube videos that I did back in 2006, and I was in my parents' backyard and just did a whole bunch of videos that summer, and then I got a bunch of subscribers over the winter when the Banana Song was featured, and let's see. So then I did a bunch of videos where I was living in Brooklyn, and then I think the following summer I did a second batch of videos in my parents' backyard upstate, and that was when I think that was when I got a video of I Want to Be Like You. But I really remember not really putting much thought into that one. So when people ask me for the arrangement for it, I'm like, I don't really know. Wasn't really an arrangement. Some of these I put a lot more thought into the arrangements. Anyway, hope you've enjoyed this lesson, and thanks for listening all the way through to the end. Have a good one.